Hello, my name is Anna Abraham, and I'm an undergraduate researcher in Dr. Sara Brownell's Biology Education Research Lab at Arizona State University. And the poster I'm presenting today is titled, Where Do Instructors Come From? An Analysis of Influential Institutions on Current and Future Faculty. So for this project, we're really interested in studying the professionalization of faculty. That is, where did they earn their undergraduate and their graduate degrees? Previous work has shown us that most faculty are earning their graduate degrees at a small set of elite institutions, but it's unclear whether this pattern also exists at the undergraduate level. We're interested in this because we think it could be really important for leveraging pedagogical change. Previous evidence shows us that faculty are drawing on their past experiences when making decisions about how they're going to teach as professors. So in that case, we really should care about what's happening at the undergraduate level at these institutions that faculty are attending. So we decided to study physics for this project because it's not as large as the life sciences, and we are definitely interested in exploring this in other disciplines in the future, and we'd expect a similar trend across the STEM fields. So to go about this, we identified all the institutions that granted a PhD in physics in 2018, and we identified all their tenure-track physics professors and where they earned their undergraduate and their graduate degrees. We used this new list of schools to identify any schools we hadn't yet looked at, and we used this to repeat the process for a total of 6 rounds. We ultimately looked at over 7,500 faculty, and one of the most interesting findings is that non-US institutions are training a large number of faculty. So around 40% of all the tenure-track physics faculty in our data set earned at least 1 degree outside the US. Looking at figures B and C here, we can see where these faculty are actually coming from. So in figure B, 431 of the faculty in our data set earned an undergraduate degree in China. And then we have a number of other countries that are also contributing significantly. In figure C, we have 262 of our faculty earning a PhD in Germany. And then again, a number of other countries who are contributing faculty as well. Now going from the country level to the individual university level, we can see that at the undergraduate level, Moscow Institute of Physics and Technology is responsible for training about the same number of faculty as Cornell University here in the US. So all of these schools are pretty elite, well-known institutions here at the US. Now, as a reminder, we're really interested in this because the experiences at the undergraduate and graduate levels do impact how professors decide to teach in the future. So initially we thought that maybe changing teaching practices at the most influential US institutions would create these large downstream impacts. But now that we see 40% of our faculty are earning at least 1 degree outside the US, we realize that it's a much more open system than we had previously considered. So we really need to think about the influences that these faculty are coming into from non-US institutions. Another interesting finding is this imbalance in faculty production. So on this graph, the dotted line represents perfect equality. This would be that, like, if all of the institutions in our data set were responsible for training the same number of faculty. But actually, we see these strong inequality curves. So about 20% of the institutions are responsible for training somewhere around 80% of the faculty at both the undergraduate and the graduate levels. Now, looking at figures F and G, we're looking at university networks connected by where physics faculty currently work and where they had earned their undergraduate degrees for figure F. To help simplify this really large network, we used a clustering algorithm to create a block model. And this grouped universities together based on the similarities in how they're connected to each other within the network. So there are a lot of interesting things here, but the main thing we want to highlight is block 4. Block 4 contains a small number of elite US programs, but the lines that are connecting it to the other blocks in the network, as well as to itself, are pretty thick, indicating that block 4 is really responsible for training a large number of faculty within this network, sending out both to the other blocks, so the other universities, as well as to the universities within that block. And then in figure G, we see a similar pattern at the PhD level. So we have block 4 responsible for training a large number of faculty and having a really large influence over the entire network because of this pattern. So this imbalance in where faculty are earning their undergraduate degrees in addition to their graduate degrees is important because these schools are where faculty are getting their first experiences of what a college classroom looks like. So knowing this gives us information about what the most influential universities are. And in terms of pedagogical change, we can think about changing teaching practices at a small number of schools to have these large downstream impacts. And then our finding that a large number of faculty are actually earning degrees at non-US institutions brings further questions about how faculty are integrating these different cultural backgrounds into their teaching practices in the US, as well as what it means for pedagogical change when we're thinking of more of an open system rather than a closed one. So these findings are really what we are focused on as we move forward with this project. Thank you.